Let's talk about Nefarious, the Christian thriller slash horror slash. I don't know if you can really fit it in a specific genre of movie, but I'm going to share my thoughts about it and we'll dive in. So let me know if you have seen it in the comments down below and what you thought of this movie. So, for starters, let me just give you a little bit of a paint the picture of what the movie is. There is a opening scene is phenomenal. I don't want to spoiler alert it, but opening scene is phenomenal. But a psychiatrist is tasked with going to this prison and talking with this inmate who is possessed, right? By a demon. And but you don't really know that until you get into it a little bit further and the story unfolds. It's wild. It is super wild. The whole movie takes place in this prison. Well, most of the movie takes place in this prison um, room where they're having a conversation. The dude is chained to the table, right? He's a bad dude. Um, and this psychiatrist is talking with this inmate who is possessed, and they're talking about the point of the meeting is, hey, the psychiatrist is tasked with assessing whether this person is insane or not, whether they should be put to death or not, and then everything ensues. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. A couple takeaways that I had from the movie, and this is what I came away with, and the main one is this: it makes you think. See, one of the things that I think is so fascinating about the world, and you've probably heard this statement that the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is making people believe he didn't exist. And if you go see this movie, it's going to bring that idea back up into your consciousness and maybe make you say, hey, what if? What if the devil does exist? What if we are being deceived? What if we are being led astray from God's plan, right? However you believe it to be. What if, what if, what if? We know that the devil operates under lies and deception. And if you're paying attention to what's happening in the world, depending on when you're watching this in October of 2023, you may or may not have heard ideas such that there could be an angel of light, a false angel of light coming on the scene to unite humanity, an angel of light acting Christ-like, right? One of the best Instagram channels, Instagram pages to follow is Naturally Nadia on Instagram. She is sharing a lot of information about how churches could potentially be deceived, how people could potentially be deceived, how even maybe your favorite political figure may not be what they say they are and may not be doing what they say they're doing. Lots of things going on in the world, and I don't know about you, but I am super tuned in and I'm using my discernment in ways that I never have before. Like I am so hyper focused on asking God what is going on, what is the real way to guide me, to instruct me, and to do the right thing in the right way at the right time, to really pay attention to what people are saying and doing, and really look behind the scenes, because there's so much propaganda in the world. And that again is lies and deception. Let me also take an opportunity to share this with you. In November of this year, 2023, and of course in next year, 2024, really use your discernment and your spidey sense to analyze the political people that are running in your city, state, and at the national level. Really analyze them. Don't just go along with what the party says because we're at such a critical time. Use the discernment, because this is a super critical time for us. But this movie really makes you think about what is really happening in the world. Is there the devil running a beast system in the world? Is there a pyramid scheme with the devil at the top and all these different organizations and entities, drug cartels, crime cartels, movies, pornography, guns, violence? I mean, all of those things that still steal, kill, and destroy human beings. And the devil captures the hearts and minds of human beings it really makes there is a strong case to be made for the fact that there is an evil entity in the world, and that evil entity does have agents that are working for him, right? And orchestrating this, trying to capture as many hearts and minds and souls as possible. It really makes you think about that. And when you come out into the real world, you might have a different look about the world and a different sense about the world. And I'll also say this: I highly recommend you go see it, regardless of whether you're a Christian or not. It's a thinker. It'll make you think. It'll make you question. And that's what we want movies to do. We want them to make us look at the world in a different way. The second thing I will say is this about the movie. If you go in there with an open mind and you come out into the world, you may be a little more skeptical. And I think skepticism is very appropriate right now in our day and age, very appropriate in our world right now, right? You may come out a little more skeptical than you were before, because I always tell people, what's the downside of assuming there is an evil entity in the world running a beast system? There's zero downside to you. The only thing you're going to get, and you could be any religion, any theology, any spirituality. What's the downside of assuming that there's an evil entity running the world, and they have all sorts of evil agents and violence in Hollywood movies, and the military industrial complex and the global cabal? What is the downside of assuming that? The only thing you're going to get is you're going to be more cautious. You're going to be more awake and aware. You're going to do your own research. You're not going to trust some bullshit politician. I look around at people who trust politicians on both sides, either side, and I question them. I question what they're thinking in their mind. I think people consciously know politicians are all bought and paid for, but yet they continue to trust politicians. And I don't mean just to vote with. I mean what they put in their body, how they educate their children, where we give money, where we don't give money. I mean, the level of trust that I see people have, maybe it's just me, I have a trust issue, but the level of trust people put in entities outside of themselves, knowing that they could or most likely are corrupt, is astonishing to me. And so watching this movie reaffirmed in my mind, just use your discernment, just do your own research, just figure it out for yourself. And I know that's going to take more time, but what else have you got to lose? It's super important to know for yourself, because, and I will also recommend another movie, another documentary, Everything is a Rich Man's Trick. It's on YouTube. I talked about it on my social media at GMarkPhillips. And I also shared the comments of that movie, some of the comments of that movie in the comments series. You can find it right here on my YouTube channel, Everything is a Rich Man's Trick. Phenomenal. What's the downside of assuming that? Very little downside to assuming that, right? There it is, Nefarious. I recommend it. I think it's phenomenal. Go check it out.